It's so cool to see him here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm yet to meet him in person, unfortunately.
Oh,
Uh,
you guys haven't met yet. Wow.
no, we keep finding ways to miss each other. But heads up, I plan on being in Nigeria in June. So hopefully
In June.
I see you
Wow.
then.
Wow. 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 Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I keep throwing my money away like that. It's crazy. Yeah. I only just got back last week, on
That's
Monday
sweet.
even. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank
So
you.
so let's do this. Let's start. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Behind the Scenes with today we are joined by Michael. Michael, I read that you started out with visual arts and storytelling
Hmm.
before you jumped into using your voice for some powerful content and all that. And
Yeah.
you are also a software engineer.
Yeah.
That's many sides to you.
It's exhausting. That's all I can say for that. It's exhausting. But it's kind of like a creative high that I've been chasing the past how many years? 3 years or so.
Wow.
So maybe 10 years ago I started digital art. I used to draw in my sketchbook. I used to draw my sketchbook with pens, with pencils, and I started posting whatever I drew online. So at that point in time, Instagram was a purely creative application or fun application. You draw wherever you want, you take pictures of whatever you want, and you post it on the platform. And if people like it, they like it. Cool. There was no algorithm nonsense that we have right now. So I posted art, and at some point in time, I was drawing things from photographers. I see what photographers had posted pictures of their clients, their models, or whatever. And because I'm good at two shoes, I didn't want to infringe on any kind of copyright. So I'd ask photographers, can I use this photo? Can I draw from this photo? And it got exhausting. And at some point in time, I started taking pictures myself to use as reference. When I started taking pictures, my camera, I could record. And so I started recording videos. And from recording videos, people said, you have a nice voice. I said, okay, I'm going to develop my voice. And so I made an entirely new Instagram. I changed my TikTok and it was focused more on voice acting and just improving my voice. And that's where everything kind of took off. Um, but then I've been working full time too, so it's been a bit of a balancing act between all these different things I enjoy doing: art, photography, digital software engineering, and then the voice stuff. Yeah,
So have you also tried acting before? I was going through your Instagram page and I saw you in a costume with
I think I'm being dragged into a very interesting part of acting, which is so we've got all these book fandoms that exist, and every so often people throw these fairs where they will get people who love the books to come. They'll dress up as characters or as people who are in the world or universe of the book. And so they get influencers or actors or stage actors or performers to be more like the curated and actually specific characters from these book universes. And because the voice staff has pulled me into the book talk side of existence, I found myself at these events being a character or being part of a universe too. So that's like I'm an actor. I sometimes go on stage, I have to say certain lines. We have to create a theme for these events so that the audience like, okay, we're all part of something big. So I'm being pulled into that side of acting, interestingly enough. And I didn't really know that existed until now.
wow. So how did you develop your voice? You have such an amazing voice, bro.
Thank you very much. Um, I guess my default voice now, however, it's turned out has been because I've paid more attention to it the past 3 years, I'd say. I think I started the voice stuff in 2022, 2023. And the process of trying different voices, trying different textures has made my voice progressively more and more like this. But initially, before then, I think it was softer. It was quieter because maybe I was more shy. I was more reserved. I didn't like speaking loudly. My peers were all shouting. I just felt like it's too much noise. So I like to keep
Yeah.
my voice down. And that made me have a gentle, soft, quiet, and soothing voice, apparently. And that's what I've been developing this entire time.
That comment.
Oh, goodness.
Awesome, awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, amazing, amazing. Um, so let's get to it. And that growly, that deep voice that comes out.
Yeah.
Where's that from? How do you go deep for that?
I don't know where it came from, but it was something that I just was always able to do, but not to this kind of level of proficiency where I can just turn it on and off and just have different low textures, high textures. But I think as a kid,
Wow.
it was another voice that you could just do.
Man, so
And
it's real. I thought that was AI or something. Wow.
goodness, no, 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 not at all. It's completely my voice. I can do that any moment in time. I can just play around with different textures. It's like
Wow,
switching into
amazing,
a vocal
amazing.
fry, right? Or doing all sorts, being more aware of it. You're speaking from a like a right at the edge.
Yeah.
That would freak me out if I was yeah, it's I could always do it, but now I've been forced to get better at doing it so that I don't damage my voice and tire myself out.
Wow, wow, amazing. Yeah. Did it take a lot of training to get there?
I guess so, but it hasn't felt like proper training. It hasn't felt like I've gone somewhere, locked myself for 60 minutes and gone over and over again. It's been just any I'm walking, I'm doing whatever, and I start growling. I'm listening to songs, I'm listening to music, and I growl the lyrics. Or yeah, that's what I've been doing to
Wow.
practice. It's a fun thing to me for me to do, and sometimes it makes me myself laugh because of something. Yeah,
Okay, okay. So let's get to the script.
yeah.
What are you reading for us today?
Oh, goodness. I didn't realize this, that I forgot something. I've got to prepare a script, but I do have a lot of things that I can read.
Okay.
Did I get that part of the assignment? I went through the questions and I completely forgot about this extra stuff.
By the
Remind me
way,
again what you want from this script because I have many, many materials.
okay, okay. Any of your scripts, any. So,
Okay, so
but
I'm a bit different in terms of what I do with my voice. So I've kind of set myself up as a something of a voice acting content creator or voice acting influencer. And so from time to time, I get people sending me things to read.
okay.
Sometimes these are paid commissions by companies like, I think the last person to commission me to do something was Amazon. Um, and but most of the time I get these submissions for people for me to read poetry, short stories, and I keep a bank of some of my very, very favorite ones.
Yeah.
So I will read this one. Hmm. Yes. Okay. I just go. Oh, they're getting questions. We'll answer those questions
So
soon, right?
so
Yeah.
so what I wanted to happen is that you will read a script for us. We want to listen to how you read your scripts and then
Mhm.
how you edit your script.
What audio editing? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Right. And it's a bit of, as you're hearing me now, is probably as I'm going to have it done. So I'm currently using a platform which probably answers a few questions down the line. So I'm currently using a platform called Ableton. Are you familiar with Ableton?
Yes, yes.
Right. So I'm using Ableton right now, and it's allowing me to, as I'm speaking, everything's being processed, right? So this is, I've got the limiter on, I've got my um, all these low end mids and everything. So before I potentially start reading the script, right, I make sure that what I hear is what I want to hear. Right.
Okay.
So if I need to clean up the sound, if I need to clean up any noise and behind me, I do that before I start recording because usually I'm recording I'll show you this. Usually I'm recording into a camera as I'm reading, right?
Well, this
So
angle looks nice. Wow. Okay.
yeah, if I do that though, I won't be looking at the
Yeah,
screen. So
yeah, yeah.
just put it there for demonstration. So what I usually get is okay, someone's giving me a script, but they also want me to make a video to it, or I'm live streaming and I'm reading something um, while being present visually. So making sure my voice sounds good happens before I even hit record. When luckily enough, Ableton allows me to stream or record as I'm hearing myself. Right.
Wow.
So I will
So
share my yeah
so before you
mm,
read, was do you do any warm-ups or
warm ups.
do you
Yes, this
hydrate?
is my hack, my kind of hack warm ups. There, I'm sure there are many cool, different, brilliant warm up techniques. But for me, I usually just ground. I
That's
find
your
that it's a
warm-up.
very that's my warm up. I feel like it's a very effective warm up for me, right? And I don't do a loud. It's like a nice rumble, almost like humming, right? So again, that's cool, but I
Yeah.
like the right. And this, yeah, I think it really warms up my voice. But there's a second thing that I do. Actually, there are things I do. The second thing I do is yeah, 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 yeah. Kind of get that those muscle down there activated. Because let's say I'm speaking and I want to go down into the vocal fry, right? It's easier for me to do that if those muscles are already activated, right? If
Yeah.
it's already like warmed up and I can just go into those lower registers. And that, yeah, that kind of exercise makes it easier for me to do. And the third thing is actually a very weird thing. It's called ingressive phonation. Have you heard of it before?
Never.
Okay. So ingressive phonation is pretty much speaking when you're breathing in, right? So instead of you're
Okay, okay, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to speak like this because the syllables and the consonants and everything is like the wrong way around. T is not T. I don't even know if there's a T, but doing that sound and going,
Can you type that into the chat?
yeah,
What do you call that?
ingressive phonation. It's my own hack. I don't know what damage I'm doing to my voice, guys. So don't. I wouldn't say blindly copy me, but it's something that I
Aggressive for
help
nature.
that
Okay.
helps me. Because I've noticed sometimes that when I go, it kind of helps me target different parts of my voice and see kind of activate them. Such as sometimes I can do it
Mhm.
immediately after I speak. After I do that, my voice texture is slightly different because somehow I'm more aware of what's happening here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you hear it right now because my voice is slightly different than it was maybe 10 seconds ago.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. Right. So let's say I want to play with a certain kind of character, certain kind of voice. Those mini or those stupid things that look stupid help me activate a certain kind of vocal texture. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool. And also drinking water, but I'm out of water right now. That's how I get
okay.
prepared. Right. So should we begin?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Can you? Okay,
Actually, you know what? What's better? I'll do this. I have a favorite, one of my favorite poems to read. Can I go get it?
please do, please do.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you.
Right. This is from the Prophet, Khalil Gibran. Right.
Perfect.
He's
Okay.
got a collection of poems that speak on different things. Right. So, for example, there's on love or marriage, on children, on giving, eating, drinking, work, joy, sorrow, all sorts of stuff. And one of the favorite things I like reading from here is on, where is it? On love, I believe. Where is it? Because I have some favorite submissions that people have asked me to read, and I keep a bank of them. But this one I've enjoyed reading. several times. So then Amiltra said, "Speak to us of love." And he raised his head and looked upon the people, and there fell a stillness upon them. And with a great voice he said, "When love beckons to you, follow him. Though his ways are hard and steep, and when his wings unfold, you yield to him. Though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you, and when he speaks to you, believe in him. Though his voice may shatter your dreams as the north wind lays waste the garden. For even as love crowns you, for even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so is he for your pruning. Even as he ascends you to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. Like sheaves of corn, he gathers you onto himself. He threshes you to make you naked. He sifts you to free you from your husks. He grinds you to whiteness. He kneads you until you are pliant, and he assigns you to his sacred fire, that you may become sacred bread for God's sacred feast. All these things shall love do unto you, that you may know the secrets of your heart, and in that knowledge become a fragment of life's heart. But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor. How long should I keep reading?
Mm-mm-mm.
The entire thing? I'm halfway through.
How long is it?
It's about 3 pages.
3 pages.
But this is it's kind of a script when you think about it, because what I've done actually, I've got this book, and maybe you might be able to see. I've got these. Oh goodness, I don't know,
Yeah,
these tiny inscriptions
yeah,
and arrows and things to help me kind of know when to emphasize certain words or take breaks, or quickly move on to the next thing. So I take, if I'm preparing a script, if there's something I'm supposed to read, right? I read it once through. Cool. Usually, if I'm reading it live, I forget the feeling of the words because I'm just going based off intuition. But if I have the chance to read it beforehand, go through it, and there are instances where I'm like, okay, it'll be good for me to quickly move on to the next sentence,
yeah,
pause here, stress certain words. Some words are sweet to listen to, like whispers. I have favorite words that I like reading: whispers, echoes,
mhm,
right? And some words are not very pleasant to read. So here I kind of stumbled when he says, "So shall he." So shall he. It's if I'm to read this properly, I'll probably have to like separate it. So it's like so shall he, as opposed to so shall he, because it doesn't sound nice. So shall he, right?
yeah,
So shall he. I have to slow it down. So I slipped at that time. So read it once, and figure out what words sound nice to slow down, sound nice to change, add more gravel, add more of a pause, add more of a vocal fry towards the end. Um, yes. Sometimes you maybe heard I went quieter. I didn't go so loud because I'm very close to the microphone, but some places you kind of really emphasize some words by becoming gentle. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yes.
So how do you know when to go gentle, when to go up, when to,
Oh, this is no science. Um, it's this feeling and intuition, I guess. Um, I guess something I guess I'm doing is trying to be in the work, in the poem, in the script as I'm reading, so that I have a feeling for what kind of vibe or atmosphere I want to create with my voice. So sometimes you read something and you have a very powerful booming voice. And maybe that's all you should do. You should always read powerful booming voice scripts because that's what your voice is capable of.
mhm,
And if you were to read something that's more gentle, that's something that's more loving and speaks to a soul in a quiet way, it might not really work for you. Or you figure out, okay, this is the feeling of the poem that the poem is, and adapt your posture, you adapt your being to be able to cater to it. Sometimes, yes, you have to be forceful with whatever you're reading, but sometimes like be soft and gentle because this is a poem about love. So I'm going to be gentle when I realize like some words are better delivered to when I say, so for example, for God's sacred feast, right? I'm ending the stanza, I'm ending the sentence, God's sacred feast, right? Not God's sacred feast. No, no, gentle, slow down. So being
Yeah.
in the moment, being one with the poem as it's going, trying to be immersed inside of it will help you pick up, okay, it'll be best for me to slow down here, go quickly here, be more
Mhm.
assertive here. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I think maybe I'm doing it intuitively. Um, but that's, I think, the feeling behind it. Yes.
Yeah. That's nice. Okay. So we can continue with that. Let's
Mm-hmm.
read a little more.
Shall we? Okay, cool. Where was I? But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor into the seasonless world where you shall laugh, but not all of your laughter, and weep, but not all of your tears. Love gives naught but itself and takes naught but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you shall not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Love has no other desire love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love and must needs have desires, let these be your desires. There should be a comma in this sentence. It's not written well. But if you love and must needs have desires, let these be your desires. To melt and be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night. To know the pain of knowing too much tenderness. To be wounded by your own understanding of love. And to bleed willingly and joyfully. To wake at dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving. To rest at a noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy. To return home at evening tide with gratitude and to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise upon your lips. The end.
Wow.
That's that. Did you understand what I was reading, or were you too distracted by my voice?
Amazing.
I get that sometimes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Maybe we should have had you. Okay, Valentine Day, but we also had a special one.
I was so busy on Valentine's Day, not for
Yeah,
Valentine's reasons. I was just busy. I didn't do anything creative on that day, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe
yeah,
next time.
yeah. Well, so wow,
Hmm.
that was amazing. Your voice, soothing.
Thank you.
Wow, beautiful. And have you done audiobooks before?
No, I had hoped that I would do. I've done like one or two lines for different audiobooks because they maybe wanted me to do a voice in a growl to pretend to be a monster. But an entire audiobook, no, I have not done, and I don't think I'll be able to do it properly actually when I think about it. But maybe in the far future, potentially. Because as I work a 9 to 5, I get home maybe around 6. And if I'm to do an audiobook, that requires maybe 40, 50 hours of recording just to
Mm.
break it down to, let's say, 20 hours of material. If I'm to edit it myself or get another editor, I'm going to
Other
lose out
work.
money and I'm going to lose
Yeah.
out time, right? Where am I going to find 50 hours to record an audiobook while doing everything that I do? So I don't know if I will ever do one. Um, Not for a very long time, I don't think.
Okay. Okay. So the voice you read with now was a sweet voice, very sweet voice.
Yeah.
Do you also do gangster voice? Man, you got that.
I have never done a gangster voice. That's not within my soul. There's no part of my body that's gangster, unfortunately. I guess I could learn how to be more different kinds of characters. That one's probably my favorite kind of line or voice to speak in. It's easy. It's more me. But there's more of like I guess I can be more stern, more stoic, more gravelly. Um, if I'm saying like reading the Bible or reading something that's very um, almost preachy or motivational, I can do something that's not so soothing. Although maybe I can't get rid of the soothing aspect of my voice, but something that's not so gentle. Um, no, I don't have a gangster voice in me, unfortunately.
No gangster. Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
let's
maybe I'll
let's
work
get
on
into
that.
the
Yeah.
the editing.
Mhm. Okay,
Yeah.
I will share my screen. Hopefully, it lets me, but you may have to give me permission. Where is it? Screen one. Okay, so editing. So as I said before, I've got. You can see my screen. Yes.
Clearly, yes, yes, we see that.
Okay. So as I said before I start recording, it's already set up for me to sound how I want to sound, right?
Okay.
And let me do this. I've recently moved to a new place, so I don't have to deal with so much noise, and that's one of the reasons why I moved to this space. But I haven't done sound treatment to this place. That's why maybe you hear a little bit of an echo, right? But
Yeah. So why Ableton? I tried using Ableton. It was just a bit complicated for me. So
let's see. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. This is
Can
what
you
I'm
hear
gonna
me?
do. Yeah, I can hear you. I've made it such that you're going to hear almost like a raw. Can you hear me clearly?
Clearly, very clear.
Can you hear the noise?
No, I don't hear any noise.
Okay. Maybe I need to go louder a little bit. I don't want to burst your eardrums, but I'll do this.
So why Ableton? Why do you use Ableton? I
Yeah.
tried using it before. It was a bit complicated for me.
Yeah. Okay. You can hear me? Cool.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Ableton, because a while ago, this is probably also what kickstarted the whole entire vocal journey. I play guitar,
Oh, yeah.
and I was playing guitar with a friend. I was playing on the computer, and I was playing guitar, and I wanted to play guitar into my computer, right? And at a point in time, I had a USB microphone. And so I think I was switching. I can't remember what I was doing, but it was very complicated for me to use both the microphone that I was using, a USB microphone, and the guitar to make the person I was speaking to on the phone hear me properly. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go out and buy an audio interface, right? So I can plug my guitar into my computer and also plug my voice into my computer. So I went out and I bought this microphone. This is the 80 20 20. I don't know if any of you recognize this. So this is one of my first proper microphone that I bought. I bought that and I bought a Scarlett Solo, um, 1.8 something, I can't remember. And when you plug it in, when you buy it, they give you like a free subscription to Ableton, Ableton Lite. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a very interesting platform. How do I use this? And that's the only reason why I use Ableton is because that's the first door I ever came across. And I haven't found any kind of reason to leave it.
Mhm.
It does everything I need to do, and I'm able to modify my voice. And I don't use too many plugins. And I'll show you all the different things I do. But
Okay.
everything I need, I've been able to find here or find plugins that exist on the internet for free, mind you.
For free.
Even though Ableton itself it may not be free.
Mhm.
So I can take you through it. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. So what I've done right now is I've increased my volume so that you're able to hear me. But what I usually do is I start with a decreased volume. So, um, for example, this microphone is this 80 20 20. It's a condenser microphone, so it's very, very sensitive, right? In fact, if I was to switch to it now, this is what it sounds like. But the volume gain on the audio interface is it's tiny, right?
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do was limit all the background noise that I get. And so by doing that, by turning down the volume, I eliminated a lot of the excess noise. Let's go back to the Shure SM57. I think for this, I'm going to switch to my other camera so that if I need to show anything, I can demonstrate
Okay.
that way. But this screen is the main focus. So this is the
Let me
Shure
let me let me
SM50.
cut in right there. So you're
Yeah,
using two mics right now, two microphones right
no,
now.
just one. Just one. I'm
Okay.
flipping between them both like so, because the audio interface that I have allows me to have at least, let's see. So the 80-20-20 goes in here,
Okay.
and the SM57 goes in here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
sweet. So let's say I'm editing for so I'm doing for the SM57. I do normally turn down the volume to maybe halfway. As I'm doing this, you may not hear me. So actually, I know how to do. Let me think. I will do this, and then no, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. Sorry. Okay. Cool. Right. I'll do it on this. So this is my blank track. You won't be able to see. It's not a live feed, but hopefully things will make sense soon. Right. So I just need something so that you can hear me while I record. In fact, this is what I'm doing. I will turn on the 80-20-20, and we're going to edit the sounds from the 80-20-20. Okay. So right, this is the 80-20-20. I'm going to switch off everything. All right. I'll switch off everything in the 80-20-20. And if I was to have taken the raw microphone output and make the volume louder, you hear that. Do you hear the noise? Or maybe
No,
it's
I don't get
okay.
that.
I think maybe Zoom probably has its own way of doing sound that um, it probably cleans up the audio so that you, my
Mm.
audience on Zoom,
Yeah.
wouldn't hear too much. But there's noise here that I'm hearing. So first step of before everything is to make sure that it's silent. There's no noise whatsoever. So first thing I do is this. This is my denoiser. This is a free plugin that it's a VST plugin you're able to plug into your DAW, your digital audio workstation. It's free. Use it if you don't have any other, if your digital audio workstation doesn't have anything
What was the
like
name
that.
again?
It's called Bertom Denoiser. I'll place that in the chat. Where are you? Here we go. So, yeah, I think that's it. A Bertom Denoiser.
Bertom
And
Dinosa. Okay.
yeah, and these are the different bands that noise will be present on normally. And you've got your side bands or your this is anything below 50 hertz you can block out with this. Anything above 100 above 10 kilohertz you can block out with that. So if there are any high pitched noises, get rid of that. And because I was in a very loud place, you'll see that I've got all these frequencies of noise knocked all the way down. But if I had it turned up, let's see. If there was no noise on this, let me do this. Can you hear that noise maybe?
Yes.
Okay. All right, brilliant. So if if that's let me see this. So this is terrible. I don't want to burst your ears. So this is with absolutely no denoising. Just is it too loud? Okay. Um, this is with absolutely no denoising, right? And this knob tells me how much of
Well, sounds
denoising
good.
effect. Hmm?
Okay.
Yeah. But as you see, at some point in time, I'm interfering with my own voice, right? I could have zero denoising and be absolutely clear, and you're able to hear everything about my voice. But
Hmm.
you have all this extra stuff in the background, or this where I'm kind of coming in and out. So finding that balance is the first thing I have to do after turning down all these different bands.
Yeah.
And then I have my noise gate. Now, my noise gate says if there is no sound, if sound is not above this level, get rid of it. Right. And with that, I can also change how sensitive it is. And this is called effector silencer. I'll put it in the chat as well. Where is it, chat? So this is my second plugin. These are the two plugins I've had to get externally. Everything else comes with Ableton. So this says if there's noise above a threshold, allow it to come through. So normally this will be my voice because that's the loudest thing that is here. Everything else will be quiet.
Yeah.
Bear in mind that if this denoiser is not in effect, so long as I'm speaking, noise will still come through because the noise gate will allow everything to come through once it's above a certain dB. And my voice and the noise in the background will not be differentiated. This doesn't do that. It just says, is there noise? Cool, bring it in. Or is there sound? Bring it in. So enable this and enable that. And then we come to your equalizer. I think this one, maybe everyone's more familiar with. You've got your low frequencies, you've got mid frequencies, high frequencies. And I think we all have different parts of our voice that maybe are more prevalent. I have a little bit of a lower voice. So my lows are a bit high, if I can say. As in, I have a
Hmm.
high amplitude of low notes and less of a high one. More women may have higher voices, so they probably dominate this other frequency. But we all have our different shape. And you play with that. I think this is more of like the radio sound that a lot of people seem to love. I don't like this at all. But just a little bit makes it feel a bit more. There's no science to what I'm doing. I'm going with what feels good for what I'm reading. And I found
Okay.
out adding more low makes it more comforting, but this is too muddy. This is too, we don't want that. So
Hmm.
just a little bit enough to make it feel more warm. And same thing with the high frequencies. I'd bring it up a little bit so that the consonants, you can still hear it. There's a bit more clarity in my voice. Um, this mid is probably the more important one because depending on the voice you're going for, it makes sense to mm, it's more intuition still. So stuff like vocal fries, right, sound more pronounced when you have your lower frequencies lowered, right? It's not a science. I didn't study this at any school. It's just what I've realized. So if I'm going for
Yeah.
more of a villain voice, right, I want the lower voices to be, I want the mids to go low, right? They don't really feel more pronounced over here. This feels less
Hmm.
full of presence, right? So if I want to go something that's more menacing, you see,
Yeah.
right? There's no science to what I'm doing. Maybe you, maybe other people have more of an understanding of all this stuff, but to me, it's
Yeah.
more of a vibe thing. If I want to be more menacing, just a little bit less mid, and of course, you can change where this mid dip is, like that. This is a native plugin in Ableton. And we move to the next, probably one of the most important ones. This is the compressor. Oh, no, that was a mistake. I should not have turned that on. This is the compressor, right? Let me put this down a little bit. Um, ooh. And be careful. Uh, okay. Right. Compressor could be very, very dangerous. There's a very powerful tool. Are we all familiar with compressors here? I feel like I don't want to over explain something that we all understand, actually.
Yes, we are. We are familiar.
Okay. All right. This is my chain, basically. I find the compressor, I think, yeah, if you all know what it is, then you know what it is. Yeah, I just try and make sure that my quieter voices, my quieter sides are still heard, and really loud voices are still compressed a little bit. And I have my limiter. We know what limiter is. Cool. And then I have this one just in case I want to create a bit more presence, some special effects. So growling, right? People love that when I have this on too when I'm when
Mhm.
I'm reading something. Yeah. But as I said, the audio editing comes live as I'm reading, so I can hear exactly how things are going to be before I even read. Um, so that's the editing chain of what I'm doing.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's about efficiency. I used to use Audacity, um, where before I got Ableton, and so I'd record without really knowing anything, and then afterwards I'll sit down and go through this different chain of effects. But yeah, afterwards, and I decided and tweaked different equalizer effects, and also, but they all fitted this chain of effects. In fact, I know this chain because I first did it in Audacity. So denoising, noise gate, uh, equalizing, compressing. Yeah, those principles existed before I got able to. Go back
Amazing. Amazing.
this. Yeah,
Uh, Audacity is my first love.
yeah. It teaches you.
Yeah.
You can't. I have the luxury of hearing exactly what I would sound like because Ableton allows me to do so. But Audacity is like you just do it, and hopefully everything's controlled enough, everything's quiet enough. There's no loud cellar, something siren down the road, and you're able to. Yeah, it kind of teaches you. So I
Okay.
understand that. I appreciate Audacity too.
So is it possible for you to record something short for us right now and just show us how you edit it, cut out your mistakes and all that, and then we
Okay.
hear the final one. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, actually. So as I'm right now, let me get rid of these ones so we're not distracted. Uh, so as I'm speaking right now, all I didn't have to do is just press F9 and now I'm recording, right? So speaking, yada, yada, yada. Any mistake, we'll see, we'll find out. Oh no, I just tripped on the word. Cool. Stop. So if I am editing something that's purely sound, right? The way I'll do it was double this track, get rid of this, right? F9, and now I'm recording. You can hear that, yes? Can you hear it? F9, and now I'm recording,
Yes,
right?
we hear that.
So,
Yeah.
okay. Necessarily like editing in Ableton like this. I spend more time editing in my video editing software, which is called Lightworks, because usually what I do is paired with a video,
Okay.
right? But it's still possible and able to accept that Lightworks makes things very visually more pronounced for me. For example, the waveforms, because I'm recording something um, that's very quiet here. The waveforms don't come as pronounced. And I haven't figured out how to make them more pronounced here yet. But let's take an example of, uh, let's say, a reading, right? Let's say I've recorded something and I want to make a video, right? So I take the video and I take the audio. Okay, how do I get rid of this bar? Okay, there we go. All right. Let's say I've taken a video and I've got the sound that goes with that video, right? I export the sound from Ableton and I mix it with the audio in the audio from I make the sound from an audio from Ableton. I pair it with the visual of my camera, right? You can see here the waveform is beautifully represented here as I
Yeah.
like it. right? So we're gonna do something that is pretty much the same thing for either Lightworks or Ableton. And here, okay, actually, I'll do it back in Ableton. I think it's more intuitive for just voice actors. F9, and now I'm recording, right? So speaking, yada yada yada. Right. Let's say I'm recording and I come across a mistake. We'll see. We'll find out. Yada yada. Any mistake, we'll see. We'll find out. Oh no, I just right here. Oh no, I just right. So I'm just gonna press Control E. That is my slice, right? So
Okay.
I've separated it
I
from
really
this
don't
one
see
that
the waveform in Ableton,
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
more, you have to use your ears more on Ableton. That's why
Okay.
I would much rather record in Lightworks, especially if it's visually a visual product that I'm doing, because it, the waveforms are much more present here, right?
Uh,
But it's the same. If I make a mistake, crop it out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
um, yeah, X, and then shift it up and down. Oh no, it's gonna crash, isn't it? It's crashing. Let's not do that. I think we can do both. Yeah. Shift it and ooh, okay, that's broken. Let's go back to this. I employ this video editing concept called L cutting and J cutting when I do the audio mixing. So, do you know what L cutting and J cutting is? I don't know if you use it explicitly in audio editing. Maybe it's got a different name.
I don't know that.
Okay, so
Does anybody?
essentially, as I'm speaking, to make sure the sound seems kind of flows seamlessly. What I would do is instead of having a straight cut, oh no, just oh no, I just tripped on the word, right? I would just tripped on the so cut this. So this is the mistake part. Cool. Instead of making it perfect like that, where it's a direct translation, this is why we have two of these. I would add just a tiny overlap. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, it feels more just tripped on the mistake. We'll see, we'll find out. Just tripped on the word. I don't know. Maybe it makes more sense to me because I do video editing, and when you make sure like there's a little bit of an overlap in sound, it feels more natural in speaking, right?
Hmm.
So I do that just a little bit, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't really matter if you're using a platform that's made your noise if there are gaps between sentences and you've made up mistakes in sentences, then it really doesn't make a difference. But if you're speaking in one continuous sentence and you make a mistake mid sentence and you want to mix and match your different audios and you're still speaking continually, getting that right overlap makes it seamless. So that's why I would have used two different layers here if I'm editing sound, just sound like this. And same thing here, we carry on like that. So it's seamless. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just a nice overlap of, because as you're naturally finishing off a word, sometimes you're also beginning another word. And so if you overlap it, it's more smooth. Right. And then once I'm done, just export. And I think you've got a question on the settings, the export settings. Yeah. Can you see?
Hmm.
Yeah, these are my export settings. People usually like a .wav. So that's normally what I'm exporting. 48,000 hertz
Hmm.
sample rate. Yeah, it's all done for me. It's normalized too, so that everything goes up to the zero line. Yeah, there's not much else I can do. I have to do after this point, and it's all done for me.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Uh, guys, do you have any question for Michael?
See this? Have you ever tried speaking in a higher pitch than
Uh,
this?
okay, okay,
If he's
okay.
still
In the
here?
chat, huh?
Yeah. Or should we go through the questions in the chat first? Oh, Ifo isn't here anymore. Um,
Is she there?
no, Ifo's not here in the call
Oh,
anymore. I think. Let's see. Glasses, I can read.
So, Joshua is like, how do you lower your voice very well and faint it very well without reaching that vocal fry point? I mean, how are you very smooth in it? Is it
Oh,
merely more
I,
practice and
I
hydration,
guess.
or is it a skill?
I guess as in like without going to vocal fry. Because I think it's become very distinct when I'm about to do a vocal fry. It's not a direct, so I can keep going lower, 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 lower to this point, and I think there's more of like a different mechanism. If I was to then go, that's when the vocal fry comes in. So maybe
Hmm.
because I've been practicing doing different kinds of voices, I know exactly where and I can turn on the vocal fry. And I don't have to activate it by going all the way all the way low. It's more
Hmm.
of a so normal is vocal fry, right? I don't have to go
Yeah.
low to get a vocal fry. It's more of a switch. You're slowing down the air by I can't explain it. Do you know what I mean? There's like a
Yeah.
this almost like a it's like a normal voice is all your foot down on the gas pedal, and the vocal fry is like, oh, I'm gonna slow down. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah.
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 So normal voice, vocal fry, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so it's not necessarily about going low and then I'm suddenly in vocal fry territory. It's about knowing that switch in your voice to be like, okay, I can go low and faint without hitting that vocal fry.
Okay, T Code wants to know which mics and audio interface you use to record.
Right. So I have with me the 80-20-20, which I've shown you just now. Let me take it out for more of a demonstration. This is my 80-20-20, the Audio Technica 80-20-20. And this is my SM57. I have another one, so a condenser microphone and a dynamic microphone too. And then the Scarlett 18i8
It,
one
I,
eight
it.
i 8 audio interface. It has four
Okay.
inputs. Both of them are both line and microphone inputs, XLR and jack inputs too. Um, yeah, thanks for answering, Joshua. So it's very useful. Allows me to have a lot of flexibility, and I travel with it everywhere I go these days. It seems. Yeah, I carry my entire gear with me when I go all these places. It's very heavy. But yeah,
Oh.
those are my two main microphones. I've only recently started using the 80-20-20 again. Because I remember I mentioned I used to live somewhere that was very loud, and this is too sensitive. It was too sensitive for where I was. And so I got the dynamic SM57 because it allowed for better sound control um, in that louder place. Yeah.
Hmm. Any more questions? Doctor, I see you. I see you. You have some questions. Quick, we are here.
Yeah.
Scarlett,
Yeah.
is that? Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So Focusrite is a company. Scarlett is like a they actually all red. I think maybe they call it Scarlet. Keep it that color too. It's like the product is a Scarlet something, Scarlet Solo, Scarlet 18 something. But yeah, they all focus rights.
Got it. Thank you. I also just wanted to find out, have you like do you do like commercial upbeats, commercial type recordings? Do you have like any demos for that? Or like can you try like a script for us?
No,
Yes.
yes
Okay.
and no. So the social media is a very interesting place, isn't it? So I recorded something for Amazon, and this is a no no. It was supposed to be a post that we both collaborated on Instagram, and they changed the terms of the video and made it an advert instead. Right? And I needed the money quickly, so I didn't challenge it. So that's like the last actual advert that I've done, but I didn't intend to do it as an advert. They approached me and said, "Okay, could you do this script? This is the concept," and they gave me they gave me a few things to read. They gave me like a very massive paragraph and said I had to do it within 20 seconds or 30 seconds. So I had to edit it myself and chop it up and still get the message across. Let me see if I can even find it for you if you want to know more about it. So it
Yeah.
looked like they did like a study on me. So they gave me like, okay, this is what we want you to do. Because they've seen some of my works and what I do on social media, and they wanted me to create a video in that similar capacity.
Oh, right.
Right.
Okay.
So okay, the first this is what I didn't understand. So they want me in 4 seconds to say an introduction to myself and say I'm about to create something special for a book or something. In 4 seconds, you can't say all of this stuff, but fair enough.
Yeah.
And they said 5 seconds to 20 seconds of video. I talk us through the entire setup, everything that I'm going to do. And then in the outro, I'm about to read something and I stop, and then it's the end card. It's a commercial. Um, Let me see if I can find you. I know where it is actually, but it's not like I was making something with a script for an advert that existed, which is speaks to like where I have found myself in this weird space where I'm a voice actor, but I'm not really in the industry, so I don't do things specifically like industry standard, but still I found use for myself. The very first. You can hear that? Did you hear
Yes.
that? I'm
Yes.
about to record something truly special for the very
Yes,
first
yes,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So already 4 seconds in. Right, let's go. I'm about to record something truly special for the very first time, and I want you guys to join me. But first, I have to make sure I feel as though I am in this world. I want to make sure I give the audience an immersive experience. Using all the lights I happen to have lying about in my bedroom, I set the tone and atmosphere that allows me to embody this character. Hello, darling. A few practice drills, breath, and finally, that's what they wanted. It was supposed to be a collab for us.
It sounds good. It sounds,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
So, which is different from what I imagine a normal commercial is. Guys, this amazing product. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have the timbre for it, the timbre for that. But I'll develop, and so I can be more versatile. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the last advert I've ever done. And most of the stuff I get is authors, publishers, poets who want me to just read their works either as an advert for their book or because they just want me to read something of theirs. Yeah, that's mostly what I do for paid work.
Okay, 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 okay. Any animation?
No, not yet. Not yet.
I
One
thought you
day.
were once a
No.
villain.
Oh,
Uh,
it'll be great if someone
yeah,
employed me to become a villain. Yeah, that'll be cool.
yeah. Guys, any more questions? Any more questions? Okay, so let's touch on the business side. How do you
Mm,
price your work or determine your rates?
mm. I'm the worst person for you to ask that question to. Uh, because I am mostly a hobbyist.
Right.
And I guess I'm Joshua. Oh, Joshua went and come back. Um, so I'm more someone's a hobbyist, and social media is maybe something that I'm doing for fun, and I'm trying not to get sucked into thinking of it too much as a business. But everything I do, I'm having to develop a more business acumen because it's difficult to do all this stuff kind of for free. In the at beginning, with the 20 people want me to read something, that's fine. But let's say my DMs, my emails are being flooded by hundreds and thousands, not really thousands. I don't think I've gotten that point yet, but hundreds of people asking me to read your works. Again, then it gets difficult. So the part of whatever I do that remains accessible to people, my followers, my audience, my fans, that remains almost free. So when I do live requests where let's say I'm live streaming on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, I open up my I've got on my website a product that you can buy, and that product is a live reading submission. And there are free slots. It's not free. There are free slots that you can send something for me to read for free, and there are paid submissions. Free slots have a limited capacity, and as you go up the different payment tiers, you pay more for me to read these things. So it's more of like Someone just wants me to read your work, fine. They don't want to go through this hassle of what your rates was, all this stuff. No, no, no. Just go to the website. You want me to read something. You don't have money. You have money. Just go there. It's there for you. So that's a free, accessible side. But then when we come to the business side, where a company says, Michael, we want you to make a video, we want you to post and promote this book or something, that's when it gets really dicey. So the way that I would price myself is kind of just using what generic influencers would use to price their work and their audience or whatever they can, what makes sense for their market. So I also try to make it a bit more sensible because everyone in the world has different GDPs, I guess. So for example, what's your 9 to 5, Chris? I'm a software engineer.
Yeah.
Right. So we can get to that in a second. So let's say someone from Nigeria wants me to read your work and promote your book. It doesn't make sense. It may make sense. I don't know. I haven't figured out this problem yet. It doesn't make sense for me to charge them the same amount as I would charge someone who's in America, right?
Yeah.
So some in America, they have more money. They have $150 is like what? A price of something silly like, I don't know, something silly for them. But $150 in Naira just doesn't make sense for someone, for me to just read someone's work online. So having that sensibility is important. But so far, most people who've asked me to read their paid works have been Americans. I think they just like to do this kind of stuff. There are a lot of authors as well who hit me up and they're from the States. So it can go from like $300 to 100,000, not 100,000, to like $1,000 for me to do some stuff. Depending on how big the company is, I'll charge more because it's like I want to make people have access to what I do. But if you are more, if you're a bigger company, I will ask you to pay more. So, example, full transparency, Amazon paid me $5,000 for that video. They should have paid me more. But remember, I said they changed the terms of the agreement. And I needed the money because I was coming to Ghana to do the show. So I needed that cash to fund the show.
Oh, so
But
this is a
in
recent
reality,
project. Okay.
yeah, it's a recent product. Yeah. So if I knew they were going to use an advert, they were going to place on all platforms and stuff, maybe I'd have charged a lot more. But
Yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
pitched as a collaboration post, I was up, but I'll never do that again. Um, and stuff like the Fourth Wing series, they gave me for the Fourth Wing stuff, they gave me initially the first few posts I did for them, they gave me I already did 6 posts in total. And the more recent one has been like they have a fond place in my heart, so I probably keep it at post. Uh, so yeah, kind of price on if a Ghanaian author reaches out to me to say, Michael, can you read this on your platform for my book to promote it? I was like, okay, fine, I'll charge them. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to sit down and think about it, but it won't be the same as I charge an American author because it's not fair. This all I'm doing this for fun, and it's not costing me as much as it's going to cost you. So I wouldn't do something that's unfair like that.
So how competitive is your space?
Hmm, I don't know. I think, funny enough, I think I'm the only person doing what I do.
Hmm.
And it's a weird niche. I think some people potentially are following suit, maybe by example of me, or they're just not yet discovered and I haven't come across them. I don't know a lot of people who are taking parts of books that authors have sent to them and reading to their audience. I don't know, maybe people who've built up an audience of reading things from their audience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not competitive because I think I might be the only person I know who's doing what I do. And I don't think there's a lot of visibility on voice actors in general on social media spaces. I think traditionally, maybe you're all tucked away behind an industry around the professional space that the social media side of things isn't yet accessed by you or tampered with by you. So yeah, if an author wants to promote their book in this modern age, it makes sense for them to promote it on TikTok, on Instagram, if it's a certain kind of book. And if they're going to do that, it makes sense for them to promote it on a platform that is known to do this stuff. And I'm the only one I can see for miles who I have books that people have sent me that people are say you're free to read this on your live sessions without copyright strikes and everything. So it's an interesting place that I found myself. It could be competitive. If you all decide to do what I do and you all built up your platforms, then hey, this is it's tough. But right now it's more for fun. Yeah. And just making money without even trying. Maybe you could say it's trying, but it's also I can't say I am ignorant. These microphones cost a lot.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
camera costs a lot. This camera is stupid expensive. Um, $1,200. No, that's my old camera. This one was maybe $1,800, $1,500 or pounds. It's a very expensive camera. So I'm dominating because I've created a space. I have these lights that allow me to create the space and mood and the atmosphere of the videos that I create. And so it's a lot of money that's poured into it, and you could equate that to effort. Um, so I've only recently started making my money back, but I'm doing this because I love it. Do you know what I mean? What camera do you use? This one that so this is my webcam. This is I don't know. That was very cheap, but the one that I do a lot of stuff on right now is the FX30. That's more of a recent purchase. My other camera is the Sony A6600. Um, but yeah, I think when people see that I'm making videos, high quality videos on something that a lot of people almost overlook, they pay more attention and they ask me to do more things. They expect more from me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
But that information and understanding came from art, photography, videography. You know, you can't just buy a camera and decide, okay, cool, I have a very expensive camera now. It's going to look good. It's like, okay, yes, it may look good, but do you know how to set up atmosphere? Do you know how to set up lighting so that people see what you're doing and feel a certain type of way about it? So it's a bit of effort, but I've gone to that level where it's almost intuitive for me.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing. I'm enjoying this. I don't want this to end, man.
Thank you.
Y-
I'm glad I'm able to
Yeah,
give some value out there. Yeah.
yeah. So it was once upon a time, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. When is it happening again?
Hey,
This
oh
year.
goodness! If it'll be this year for sure, and we have to make it sweeter.
Yeah.
So I'm not coming again in December. December is too much. It's too much. Too mad. Too chaotic. I would like to come in November or September time. Um, so while I was there, I made acquaintance with a musician's manager. Her name is Vidette. I don't know if you heard of her. I feel like she's somewhere around the spaces. Vidette, she's like a business person and she manages an artist called Orge. And she said that next time I was in Ghana, we should do something for him because he's trying to break into the Ghanaian space. And if that's the case, it'll probably be an expensive paid trip for me to come to Ghana, and that will be when I do the event. So hopefully around late this year, November, September, maybe August, I'll be back. We'll do Once Upon a Time again. But I will hope to take it to Nigeria and a few other countries this year to the concept. Yeah. But it will definitely happen in Ghana. It's definitely happening. I just don't know what month, but it
You have
will
to come
happen.
back. You have to come back.
Yeah,
You have to
always.
come back. Okay, let's go over it again. So what are you looking at? What do you want to achieve with these events?
Um, the one thing that is probably the most priority, my biggest priority about this is capturing talent in a way that's marketable to different communities and different cultures, right? Storytelling is a very beautiful thing that the different nuggets of wisdom or virtues that you find in the stories can be spread across different cultures, spread across different continents, language barriers, da, 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 da. There's a story that means something, right? And we, as voice actors, have the ability to bring stories to life, a written story to life. We're able to play with our voices to give life and character to some words. So, once upon a time, being a writing workshop, but also a voice acting workshop, was to allow writers to write things that are easily translatable to voice and have voice actors read things that are um, felt by people who hear them, and capturing that with video, with photography, with as an event, as a space, is my biggest thing, so that talent can be exported, so that talent can be seen. We do this event in Ghana. Brilliant. People see it. People know that Ghanaians are telling stories. They're doing this. It's amazing. I want to go for next time. This is a brilliant voice actor. I like what he's doing. He's in Ghana. Let me employ him to promote my book, to to do this advert for me, right? To make it whatever I do more accessible to everyone, and also to see that the value that I'm doing online is easily done by someone else somewhere. I'm not the only talented voice actor here. I'm not the only person who has the voice or equipment to do what I do. So making sure people see the talent wherever I go is a priority of mine. And the second priority is also just to network in a way. I say network, that's such an industrial term, but to me, creative people who have the same passion for what I do, have the same skills as what I do, better skills, so I can learn from them. Maybe they can also learn from me. So when I was in Ghana once upon a time, I met some really incredible people. Um, yeah, hopefully next time I meet more.
Definitely. So quick quiz asking, did you say you do 48,000 sample rates?
Mhm.
Any special reason? I do 41,000. For some reason, I thought that was standard.
I don't know. I don't know why you thought it was standard. I thought 48 was standard. Also, 41,000 seems like such an odd number. I'm sorry to say. 48,000 seems like a nice round number. 24 hours times two, 48,000.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
is that am I kidding? Is that me? I do 48,000 because that's what I've seen. So sometimes when I get a job, it's like, okay, export this sound to this level, to that level. A lot of people have come to my space to record auditions for voice stuff, and the voice people are asking them to send it in 48,000. So in my head, 48,000 is the standard, right? Or I guess I have to defer to you guys who do this more. T Code, Prince, what is the standard where you are?
Tico, are you there?
I don't know. I hope I haven't soothed him to sleep.
48,000 samples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, Michael,
yeah.
what is that one thing you wish you knew when you first embarked on this journey?
Hmm. Atmosphere. I think I wish I knew how to curate the atmosphere a bit more. Um, and I mean to say this is more conceptual, and probably goes beyond just voice acting. As a creative person, as someone who comes online, who makes videos, who enjoys creating things, but also knowing the impact that they have on people, knowing about how you create yourself, how you create your voice, your style, your image to people is actually very important. Um, they can see you and they can hear you and have a certain feeling. But you can also dress yourself up to look a certain way. I mean to say, if you come and click on my video, it has an effect on you because the lighting is set up a certain type of way, the quality is set in a certain type of way. And I've been doing these things because I like them. I enjoy creating things with such a high quality, but I have not necessarily taken into account the effect that it has on people, the atmosphere that it creates. People now recognize my style of video, right? But I did it because that's just what I liked. If I knew that I had such a profound effect by setting my lights a certain type of way, by dressing a certain type of way, by doing all this kind of stuff, potentially I would have made the experience for my viewers, for anyone who views my media, more profound.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if I was to do this all again as a complete random person, I'll make sure that the atmosphere is set. There is sound. There is. Um, I'm dressed a certain type of way to communicate the idea of this is a storyteller. He's come to read us a story. I will pay attention.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Finally, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, 5 years from now, yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll be married. Maybe five,
With
5 years from
kids?
now. Not with kids. Ish. That one. Yeah, I don't know. Kids. Maybe a tiny child, a tiny baby. That'll be okay.
Yeah.
5 years. I think in 5 years' time, hopefully that's like this is a seasoned creative individual who makes things that people can pay attention to, and I'll be able to travel, meet people, set up ideas and concepts and have them executed, knowing that they're going to be executed to a certain standard, because hopefully the industry knows me. Hopefully, notable people know who I am and what I do, and I won't be known as just someone online who growls and people know him for his growls. I'll be known as like a creative force. But yeah, hopefully, I'm out of this space and I'm moving on to bigger and greater things. Yeah.
Okay, Joshua. Joshua has a question. Joshua.
Hmm.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask a question that so you mentioned you're 9 to 5. You're like
Hmm.
there's a software engineer or something.
Yeah. Software engineering.
Right. So but online I know you as a creative person in the VO industry
Hmm.
and especially your ASMR like videos where you are
Yeah.
reading. The one I really enjoyed was the King Solomon part and all that, yes. So how do you always want us to know you as someone from the video industry, or you try to make a distinct line between what you do as your 9 to 5 and what represents you online, or do you want to be represented by both?
Mm. That's a deeper question than you think it is, I think. Um, I am fortunate enough to be growing up in a certain time or era where the image that we craft of ourselves is very we can craft whatever image we want for ourselves, right? I think maybe 20 years ago, you were defined by the profession that you did. For most of your life, you're a tailor, you're a pharmacist, you're a doctor, da 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 da. But now when you come online, you don't have to be defined by what you do as your 9 to 5. You can be seen as, oh, this is an influencer, this is a content creator, this is a fashion person, da da da. Right. And I'm able to kind of view my 9 to 5, my software engineering as like this is the stuff I have to do. These are my chores in a way. Same as you have a house, you have to clean the rooms, you have to do your washing. Those are the chores that you have to do. But the life that you live, the house that you have, is more for the living. And so, as much as it is consuming most of my life, my 9 to 5, that is my chore in existence, right? That's something that I have to do to be able to still live. But I would want people to know me more for what I feel more likely, what I want to be remembered, which is like being a creator, being someone who has ideas, who expresses his ideas, who brings people on to join him in his ideas. So that's why you see sometimes I'll collaborate with people, we'll be sitting down doing stupid stuff. Is the idea that we've come together to make something new is what I want to be known for, as opposed to some guy who codes somewhere. That's not very interesting to me. But I like doing that stuff, and it's necessary for me to do that so that I can do everything else. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's so a follow-up. So
Yeah.
um, in my case, I need some I won't say coaching, but a way forward. So I am a medical laboratory science student and
Mm.
I really like medical narrations, but
Mm.
also I've come to, especially when I joined the VO Launchpad course, I got really like narrations and commercials, and I'm trying to head into audiobooks. So something like this, do I still have to ensure my online presence is something related to what I do medically, or I can just spam on being a voiceover artist and then I bring in the medics whenever possible. I mean,
So, do you want the medical stuff to be known about you?
yes, I don't want to section away from that or
Okay.
move myself away from it.
Okay. So, if you view yourself as a creator, right? Do you want to create things that are both voice acting of VO and medical stuff? Is that
Yeah.
does it? Okay. Yeah,
So with
then
that, do I need to have separate accounts for both, maybe only medics and then voiceovers in general, or a main account for both being a voiceover artist and um, someone in the medical field? Or, I mean, I'm just soliciting ideas.
collab them, collaborate them, combine them.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, if that's who you are and this
Okay.
how that's what you want to express, and they're both your core creative kind of person, especially when you want to do voiceover medical stuff, it makes sense to express both ideas on the same platform. I have 5 accounts or 6 accounts. It's exhausting, right? But they have very distinctive. This one doesn't necessarily need to cross over into this one. And sometimes I collaborate with myself on 2 different platforms, right? But they are very distinct and strong identities on their own self. But as what you're trying to do seems to be a mixture of the two, and it doesn't need to necessarily separate. I say keep them all on the same platform. It'll be very interesting to click on a video and there's someone narrating a very medical process in a very soothing or very charming voice. You know, it's its own niche, and you've made something for yourself, which is very distinct. Do you see?
Okay, right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
And the last one, Michael,
Mm.
from Kweku, could you talk a bit about your soundtrack choices for your videos?
Unfortunately, that's probably the most difficult thing. Complete the most difficult thing. If you notice, a lot of my videos actually don't have sound. It's just silence. Um, and this is part intentional, part compulsory, because so these different platforms that exist, they have the different licensing and copyright tools and all this stuff. But a few years ago, people made videos on TikTok and they usually use viral sounds. And UMG, like a big music company, decided to say, we don't want our music on your platform anymore. And all those voices, all those videos, if you find them again, they have no sound whatsoever because TikTok said you can't have any sound. So imagine I had created like 100 videos back then using a viral
Mm.
sound or a sound that was licensed to a different company. That's all my videos gone. No one could ever watch them. So one is intentional, as in like using absolutely no sound, but two, because it's actually very, very difficult to find a song that fits the vibe of what you're creating that is free to use. Yesterday, I was editing a short reading that someone sent me, and I was like, okay, I've got the cut, everything looks good. Let me put some song on this to make it feel right. You have an option of free things from YouTube, free things from Instagram and YouTube that allow you to that you can put them on your video, but then it's like you can't use this on this platform, or they just don't fit that atmosphere. Worst case comes to worst case, I have to pick up my guitar and just make a few chords so that there's some atmosphere. But unfortunately, that's the hardest thing to crack, getting sound that is free for you to use and fits the mood of what you're trying to create. It's difficult. So I have not figured that out. Maybe that'll be my next challenge to conquer.
Mm. So I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making the time to be here today.
Thank you for
We've
giving me this
and
chance.
sharing
This
with
was
us,
fun.
yes. And we've learned a lot from you today, man. Thank you,
But
thank you, thank you. And we're going to keep in touch, man. A lot of other things we want to discuss,
yeah,
and we no, we'll talk about it offline.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. So, guys, thank you for participating. Thank you for making this happen and making this successful. Uh, let's wait for the next one. So, my name is Prince and Vessel. This has been Live Behind the Scenes with, and we had Michael on. Good night,
Sweet,
man.
sweet, sweet, sweet.